Welcome to the Fluent Flow Podcast with Emma and Oliver.
Welcome to the very first episode of the Fluent Flow Podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Oliver. We're so glad you're tuning in today.
Oliver, I'm so happy we're finally doing this. I feel like there are so many people out there with amazing potential, but they're just stuck because of their English.
I feel the same way, Emma. It's not about the language, it's about the opportunities people are missing every single day.
Exactly. And that is why we chose the perfect topic for our first day.
Today, we're talking about a huge problem for English learners. Is it grammar? Is it vocabulary?
Not exactly. It's the fear of speaking. Our theme is stop thinking, start talking.
That is so important. I see so many people who study for years but never actually speak.
They know every rule in the book, but they feel paralyzed when they open their mouths.
It's like they're waiting for a perfection that never comes.
Right, but in 2026, we don't have time for perfection. We need communication.
I agree. Life is fast. We need to connect with people now, not in 5 years when our grammar is perfect.
Exactly. You know, Oliver, I was browsing some language learning forums online this morning.
Oh, really? What was the general feeling there?
The same thing. People were saying, I understand everything, but I can't say anything.
That's the classic intermediate plateau. It's a very frustrating place to be.
It really is. It's like being in a silent prison with all these great ideas in your head.
Well, that's why we created the Fluent Flow Podcast, to help people break out of that prison.
And since this is our first episode, we should explain how the show works for everyone listening.
Good idea. We don't want to be like a boring traditional classroom.
No way. That is why we created a special segment called the Language Spotlight.
In every episode, we are going to take a few real-life expressions and show you exactly how to use them.
But we don't just look at definitions. We look at how they work in different situations.
Like at work, with friends, or while traveling. It's about building a toolkit.
Exactly. And today we have 10 expressions that help you keep talking when you're nervous.
Phrases that act like lubricant for the brain?
Yes, phrases that help the words slide out more easily when you feel stuck.
That sounds very useful. I sometimes need that even in my own native language.
We all do, Oliver. But why do you think we are so afraid of mistakes in the first place?
I think it comes from school. In school, mistakes mean a red mark on your paper and a bad grade.
You're right. Mistakes were punished. But in the real world, mistakes are just information.
Exactly. If you say, he go, instead of he goes, the conversation doesn't stop.
Not at all. The person you are talking to still understands you perfectly.
But in our heads, we feel like we are losing our dignity. It's a huge psychological barrier.
It is the ego. We want to be the same smart person in English that we are in our native language.
That is impossible at the beginning. You have to be okay with being a simpler version of yourself.
That is a hard pill to swallow for many professionals. They are experts in their fields.
But when they speak English, they feel like children. It's a bit humbling, isn't it?
It is, and that is why they overthink. They are trying to find the complex words to match their status.
But the secret is that simple English is actually very powerful and very clear.
Look at the most famous speakers in the world. They don't use the most difficult words.
No, they use the most effective words. There's a massive difference there.
I want our listeners to understand that being fluent does not mean being a walking dictionary.
It means having a flow. It means being able to navigate a conversation without stopping.
Even if the water is a bit rocky, you keep the boat moving forward.
I love that image. And that is what our podcast is all about.
We have to train our brains to prioritize the message over the mechanics of the language.
It's like driving a car. If you think about the engine every time you turn the key, you will never enjoy the trip.
Most people are staring at the engine while they are trying to drive.
And then they wonder why they feel so stressed and tired.
We want you to look out the window, enjoy the conversation, connect with the human being in front of you.
English is just the car. The destination is the connection.
That is a beautiful way to put it, Oliver. I really believe it.
I think many people feel lonely because they're waiting for perfect English to make friends.
That is a very high price to pay for perfection. Loneliness is not worth it.
Definitely not. 2026 is the year we change that for our listeners.
We are going to be messy, we are going to make mistakes, and we are going to talk.
I am ready for that. I think the people listening are ready to.
But Oliver, how do we actually stop the brain from overthinking in the moment?
That is the big challenge. It's a physical feeling, a tight throat, and a fast heartbeat.
It's the fight or flight response. Your body thinks you are in real danger.
But the only danger is a small grammar mistake. It's funny when you think about it.
Our biology is a bit outdated for the modern world, so we have to hack it.
We have to give the brain a safety net, something to hold on to.
And that safety net is what we are going to show you now in our next section.
We want to show you the difference between a conversation that stops and a conversation that flows.
I think this is going to be very eye-opening for everyone.
It's about showing that you can have a deep talk even when you feel a bit stuck.
So, Oliver, are you ready to show everyone how to break that overthinking trap?
I am more than ready. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. Let's stop thinking and start talking. So, Oliver, let's go straight to the point. I'm going to ask you a tough question.
I'm ready. Don't go easy on me.
Since we're in 2026 and everyone is connected, what is your take on social media? Do you think it is doing more harm than good to our mental health?
That is a very good question. Well, I believe it is a complex situation. Sometimes I feel that, how can I put this? It's a double-edged sword, you know?
I totally get that. But what do you mean by a double-edged sword in this context?
I mean it has a good side and a bad side. For example, I draw a blank here on the specific data, but what I'm trying to say is that it connects people, but it also makes us feel lonely at the same time.
Perfect. Let's pause right there. Oliver, did you notice what you just did?
I did. I used every trick in the book to keep the conversation moving.
Exactly. The most important thing was that the conversation never stopped. There was no heavy silence.
That's the goal. I used phrases like, how can I put this? And what I'm trying to say is.
Those are our bridge phrases. Most learners think that if they don't have a big word like detrimental, they should just stay silent.
But silence is the real enemy of flow. Silence makes the other person feel like they need to save you.
True. When you said, how can I put this, I knew you were just looking for a thought. I felt comfortable waiting for you.
And notice that I didn't use any fancy vocabulary. I used simple words like lonely, good, and bad.
This is what we mean by stop thinking, start talking. You chose the simple path instead of getting stuck in a complex one.
I could have spent a minute trying to remember the perfect word, but I chose to keep the connection alive instead.
You also admitted that you drew a blank. It sounded so natural, Oliver.
Because it is natural. Native speakers do that every day. We forget names and words all the time.
So why do learners feel they are not allowed to forget? It's that old school fear of the red mark on the paper again.
We need to throw that paper away. In the real world, if I understand your message, you get an A for communication.
This proves you can have a deep talk about mental health without a massive vocabulary.
You just need the courage to be simple and the right tools to keep the flow moving.
I think many students are afraid that if they use simple words, they will look less smart.
Actually, it's the opposite. If you can explain a complex idea with simple words, that's a sign of true mastery.
That is so true. Overthinking is often just our ego trying to protect us from looking imperfect.
But perfection is boring. Flow is what creates real relationships and real business deals.
I agree. When you focus on the other person instead of your own grammar, everything changes.
You stop being a student and you start being a communicator.
And that's the transition we want for everyone listening to the Fluent Flow podcast.
It's about building that safety net we mentioned earlier.
A safety net made of phrases that give your brain 3 extra seconds of oxygen.
I love that. 3 seconds of oxygen is exactly what it feels like.
Now that we've analyzed the mindset, I think it's time to give our listeners the actual tools.
I'm ready. Let's build that toolkit.
Let's move into our main segment. It is time for the Language Spotlight.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Language Spotlight. This is the part of the show where we give you the actual tools to build your fluency.
I'm excited. Today we have 10 bridge phrases. These are your safety nets for when your brain decides to take a vacation in the middle of a sentence.
We've divided them into 3 categories: work, social life, and travel. Let's start with the professional world, because that's where the pressure is highest.
Oh, definitely. In a meeting, silence can feel like an eternity. So, phrase number 1, how can I put this?
This is a classic. It's so elegant. When you say, "How can I put this?" you're telling your boss or your client that you have a complex idea, and you're just choosing the best way to explain it.
Exactly. It buys you about 4 seconds of pure thinking time. Let's hear it in a work context. Emma, imagine I'm asking you about the delay in a project.
Okay, ask me.
Emma, why is the marketing report not ready yet?
Well, Oliver, the data we received was a bit inconsistent. So, how can I put this? We decided to redo the analysis to ensure accuracy.
Beautiful. You didn't say, I don't know, or stay silent. You used the bridge. Now, phrase number 2. The word escapes me right now.
I love this one because it's so honest. It happens to native speakers all the time. If you forget a specific technical term, don't panic. Just say, "The word escapes me right now, but the point is," and explain the concept.
It shows confidence. It says, I know the concept, I just forgot the label. Phrase number 3 for work. Let me rephrase that.
This is the ultimate reset button. If you start a sentence and you realize it's becoming a grammatical mess, just stop. Say, "Let me rephrase that," and start over with a simpler structure.
I use that even in my own language. It's a sign of a good communicator. It shows you care about being understood.
Exactly. Now, let's move to social life. This is where you want to sound natural and relaxed. Phrase number 4, what I'm trying to say is,
This is the best bridge for when you feel like you're rambling. If you feel lost in your own explanation, just use this phrase to summarize your point.
it's like a lighthouse in the fog. It guides you back to the main idea. What I'm trying to say is that the movie was great, but a bit too long. Simple and effective.
Phrase number 5, it's on the tip of my tongue. This one is fun. It creates a bit of suspense and shows that you actually know the word.
It's very idiomatic. It makes you sound very advanced. Oh, what's the name of that restaurant? It's on the tip of my tongue. Even if you never find the word, you've kept the social flow alive.
Phrase number 6, bear with me for a second. This is a polite way to ask for a moment of patience.
Bear with me sounds so much better than, "Wait, I'm thinking." It's professional yet warm. It's perfect for when you're looking for a photo on your phone or a specific word in your head.
Phrase number 7, I've lost my train of thought. This is a great emergency exit.
We all lose our train of thought. If someone interrupts you and you forget what you were saying, just admit it. It's very human. "Sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Where was I?"
And the other person will usually help you. It creates connection. Now, let's look at our last category, travel. This is about survival and getting things done fast. Phrase number 8. I'm not sure how to say this in English, but
This is the honesty bridge. If you're at a pharmacy or an airport and you don't know the word for prescription or boarding pass, just say it. "I'm not sure how to say this, but I need the paper from my doctor."
it's so much better than pointing and making noises. It shows you're trying. Phrase number 9. Does that make sense?
This is a check-in bridge. After you explain something with your messy English, ask the other person, "Does that make sense?"
It puts the ball in their court. If they say yes, you can relax. If they say no, you can try a different simple way. It's a brilliant way to manage a conversation.
And finally, phrase number 10, to cut a long story short.
This is the best way to end a story when you realize you don't have the vocabulary to explain all the details.
Exactly. If you're telling a friend about your flight delay and you don't know how to explain the engine failure and the airport hotel drama, just say, "To cut a long story short, I arrived 3 days late."
It's perfect. You've shared the result without getting stuck in the grammar of the details.
These 10 phrases are your new best friends, Oliver. They are the bricks you use to build your bridges.
I hope everyone listening is taking notes. But remember, the goal isn't just to memorize them, it's to use them to kill the silence.
That's the key. These phrases give you the confidence to be imperfect because you know you have a way to stay in the game.
I love that. Stay in the game. That's what fluency is all about.
So, Oliver, out of these 10, which one is your favorite?
Definitely, how can I put this? It sounds so intelligent and calm. It makes me feel like a philosopher, even when I'm just confused.
Mine is "let me rephrase that." It's so liberating to know I can just start a sentence again if I don't like the first version.
We want our listeners to pick their favorite 3 and try to use them this week. Just 3.
That's a great start. Don't try to use all 10 at once. Start small, build your bridges, and watch your flow improve.
I think we've given them a lot of value today, Emma. My language spotlight is definitely feeling bright.
Mine too, but we aren't done yet. We still have one more important thing to do before we finish our first episode.
That's right. It's time for the final challenge.
But first, let's take a deep breath and realize that English is supposed to be fun, not a torture chamber.
Exactly. Let's move to our final segment.
We are almost at the end of our very first episode. Oliver, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling energized, Emma. I really hope our listeners are feeling a bit lighter now, like the weight of perfection has been lifted off their shoulders.
That's the goal. But we don't want you to just listen and forget. We want you to take action.
Exactly. This is the part of the show we call the Flow Challenge.
Every week, we're going to give you one small task, something simple that you can do to practice what we discussed.
So, what is the challenge for our Stop Thinking, Start Talking week?
It's very simple. Your challenge this week is to intentionally use at least one bridge phrase in a real conversation.
Even if you don't actually forget a word?
Yes! Even if you know the word, I want you to use, "How can I put this?" or "Let me rephrase that," just to feel the power of controlling the flow.
I love that. It's like training your muscles. You need to practice the bridge when you're calm so that it's there for you when you're nervous.
Exactly. If you don't have anyone to talk to in English this week, do it with yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself a story about your day and use a bridge to connect your ideas.
I do that all the time. Talking to yourself is underrated.
It really is. And if you do the challenge, we want to hear about it. Share your experience with us.
Yes. Let us know which phrase felt the most natural for you.
Well, Oliver, I think we did it. Our first episode is in the books. Oliver, how are you feeling?
It was a blast, Emma. I'm already looking forward to the next one.
Before we go, do you have any final words of wisdom for our listeners?
Just one thing. Remember that your English is a tool, not a trophy. Don't worry about how shiny it looks. Just worry about what you can build with it.
That is perfect. Your English is a tool, not a trophy. I'm going to remember that one.
And remember, everyone, keep breathing, keep bridge building, and most importantly, keep flowing.
See you in the next episode of the Fluent Flow Podcast.
Bye-bye, everyone.